Hello, everybody. Hello. Is anyone on? Hello. Hi, sorry, I just was checking some messages. But anyway, let's get to it. Does everybody like the new hair? I changed it up a little bit. I didn't gel it down this time. What I did was what did I do? I did a wash and go. That's what I did. So it's a little different this time. So if you like it, just say like this video if you like it. So anyway, today is a little different. We're going to talk about an interesting topic that I really have been I thought about last night, and I just been really thinking about it, and it was on my mind. I said, why don't I make a video about it on YouTube? And that's why I'm doing this live right now. So basically, this is, are men incapable of love? Now, I had heard this from a YouTuber, a very popular YouTuber and TikToker. Her name is Princella. I think that's how you say her name. Princella, the Queen Maker. She's on YouTube. I might just drop her video, her channel link in the description below. But she's really, I like Princella. A lot of people don't like her for some reason, but I feel like she has a lot to offer. I feel like she speaks a lot of truth. There's some truth to what she says, and that's why I like her channel and I just like her content. I feel like she can be a bit harsh towards the men there, but I feel like it's necessary. Her message is necessary, and she's a really good spokesperson for women, in my opinion. So let's get into like what she was saying. So basically, she said that men were incapable of love. Now, I don't necessarily believe this wholeheartedly. I'm gonna give my perspective as a rebirth coach, as a doula. If you don't know what a rebirth coach is basically a person who helps you or assist you in finding out who you are, or uncovering the true person or the true self of you. So like it's kind of like shadow work I help people do, or inner work, where I help them uncover who they are as a person. And I'm also a doula. I have a certification in that, where I help assist with childbirth. I provide support and guidance to women who are pregnant. And I'm also a peer counselor for the state of WIT. For the WIT program for the state of Louisiana. So I do a little thing. I dabble in a lot of stuff. If you want my services, make sure to check out my website, and also check out my course that I have. It's called the Beautiful Light Energy course, and it helps you with your rebirth process, or your transitioning process, how to transform into the person that you've always wanted to be, your dream self, the person that has a radiant light shining from them. That's what my course is about. So check that out in the description box. But anyway, let's get into the topic. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to really talk about this. I don't necessarily believe a man is incapable of love. I don't really know that to be true. But I will say this. I believe that God, our creator, and you all can give your own opinions. Whoever watches this video, you can give your own opinion in the comments. I believe God, the true creator, is not a man, but I believe God is a woman. That's my belief system. And if you look at it, woman did create everything. Woman created this world. This is my spiritual perspective of everything. Woman created this world. So Everything comes from her. Men come out of a man comes out of a woman's womb. He comes out of the birth canal. So she created this world. Essentially she created everything. Everything came from her. Even, and you can look this up, even an embryo before it's born, it's female. It's not male. It turns into male if it becomes a male child. So you can even look that up. That's science, and nature. Um, I've done my own research on things. Sorry, hold on. Zariah, sit down. It's my daughter. Sorry, you guys. So you can even look that up. That's science and nature. But anyway, everything comes from a woman. That's my belief system because I'm. Excuse me. No. Hold on just a second, everybody. Sorry, it's my daughter. It's all right. Go back to your room. Go back to your room now. But anyway. So I'm just looking at my notes here. No. So if they created the world, I feel like women created love. Women have more of a better concept of love. If you look at it, we know how to love more passionately. We're always compassionate. We have a lot of emotions going on with us. And so it kind of goes into that. So if we created love, then we are love. And that's what Princella talks about. She says that women can become love because they have more of a better understanding of it. And I do believe that. So because if you create something, of course you know how to use it and how to become it. You created it. It's yours. So you know it. Whereas with a man, he didn't create it. So I don't think he would have a understanding of it like a woman would. A woman would have to introduce him to love in order for him to love. Now I'm getting into that. My mom used to say that the woman makes the man the lover. And I do believe that because it's just who she is. She makes the man the lover. She really, truly does. If you look at it, the woman, like she used Adam and Eve as a perfect example in the Bible. She was saying that, see how Adam defied God over, for Eve? He let the creator that had created him go for Eve. And he did. And that made him a lover in that instant, that moment. It really did. So that proves, that's in my opinion, that proves, like, just from that story alone. And that's one of many stories that I can find, different stories like that throughout history, in different stories where the man was introduced to love and he was able to love passionately a woman. So I feel like that's proof that a woman can introduce a man to love, but he doesn't know it until he truly interacts with a woman that introduces it to him, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. You're clapping. Thank you for clapping. Anyway, I see you in the chat box. But yes, I do believe that. So just think about that. I really think that there is truth to that. How can a man know how to love if he has never created, if he did not create it, and he has never been exposed to it? I've seen some very hateful men who are, in my opinion, wounded, or maybe in their wounded masculine is what I call it, or maybe showing up as their wounded self. They have mother wounds and they are unaware of it, and I go into mother wounds in my course. And it's a really good topic, mother wounds is, because if you are affected by your mother in some way, you will be affected in life. You will show up as your wounded self in life. You won't you won't be the person that you were meant to be in life, if that makes sense. And it's so true. I had mother wounds of my own that I healed myself, and I was able to get better from it. And I was able to heal. And I realized, oh, this is why I do this in life. And this is why I do that, because I had a mother wound. So interesting, right? So it's the same way for men. Men can have mother wounds too, as well as father wounds. And that's a whole nother story. But if a man has a mother wound, that means he has never truly been loved. He's never been truly loved. He hasn't experienced love because the first woman that he met, which is his mother, has never exposed him to it. You see what I'm saying? So, like, does everybody understand that? If his mother has never exposed him to it, and she was the first woman he met, then he has a mother wound in life, and he doesn't know what love is. He's incapable of love. I'm not going to go as far as Princella and say that all of them are incapable of love. They will never be able to experience it. They don't know what it. I'm not going to go that far, but I do believe they can eventually be. I feel like they can learn how to be. I really do. Spiritually, I think they can. I think that they have the potential to be maternal. Some men do. I believe they have the potential to heal and change in that way, if that makes sense. And I do believe that. I do believe that. I really do. I think it can work in a sense. You know, I do believe that. I believe that women created love. I believe they have a better understanding. It's like they know what's going on in that sense. We love so passionately. I remember a man said himself that I heard this from a man. This came out of a man's mouth. He said that your father loves you. He said, I'm not saying that the father does not love you. And he said, a father can love a child. He said, that's not what I'm saying. He said, but he said, in his opinion, he didn't believe that a father could love a child like a mother could. That was his belief system. And I was like, interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder why he said that. But I'm understanding now. It is because men did not create love. Women did. The woman is the creator. You know, she is the creator, whether or not people want to believe that, but she is. And I have heard other men say this. That's the beauty of this topic. Other men have admitted to this. They have said this. I've been around other men who have said this several times. It's not just that instance that I just talked about. A lot of men believe this themselves, and they know this. That's why we're so different from men. Women are. We are, you know, we are different from men. Women are. We really are. In so many aspects, in so many ways. But I feel like we're the same in the sense where we do share like energies, whereas we share feminine and we share masculine energies as well. Because I don't believe, like, religion, for example, it teaches us that we're supposed to be or hold one energy. So for example, like, they have taught us that a woman is supposed to only be feminine, a man is supposed to only be masculine, when that is really not the truth. Both men and women are supposed to have both energies, and they're supposed to be a balance in both. I really truly believe that both women and men need to have a balance of that. They really do. Like, say for instance, like when you're running a business, I run a business. You have to know how to attract money. That's feminine. And you have to know how to keep it too. That's masculine. See how that works? I heard someone say that, one of my friends, I believe it was Caitlin. She said that. That's so true. It's so true. It really is. And I feel like we're supposed to take heed to these things. They're not something that we kind of like supposed to take lightly. We're supposed to tap into ourselves. We need to do our inner work. We need to go on our rebirthing experience. We need to go on our journey of being rebirthed and being reborn to truly understand those things. We need to really find out, why are we wounded? Why is our feminine wounded? Why is our masculine wounded? Why do we not have a even balance of these energies? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think there is some truth or some proof to what Princella is saying, regardless of what people think about her. I think she's a great YouTuber. I think she's a great I don't know, can we call her a scholar? I don't know. But I feel like she's a good um I feel like she's a really good teacher. That's what I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her a great teacher. And I feel like she does have there is some truth to that. I feel like, man, he doesn't really know all about, those things, pertaining to love. I feel like he has to learn how to. Whereas women come into the world knowing how to. That's it. Okay, I got it. He has to learn how to. She already knows. So I feel like it's something that he has to adapt to. And a woman has to pull it out of him. And I feel like the first woman that should have pulled that out of him should have been his mother. It really should have. So if it wasn't, it should have been his mother, because that's the first woman he comes into contact with. Look at it. He doesn't come into contact with his grandmother first. He doesn't come into contact with his wife first, or his lover, his girlfriend. He doesn't come into contact with that first. He has to um you know, he has to come into contact with his mother first in order to experience that love, because he came out of her womb, he came out of her canal. So that's the truth of it. It's just like a scientist. Let's say a scientist created, I love this analogy. I came up with this analogy. Let's say a scientist created a robot, and this robot, let's say, hold on a second. My goodness, I'm trying to get comfortable here. Sorry, you guys. Sorry about this. But let's say this is a really good analogy. So stay here, stay tuned for this. Let's say let's say a scientist created a robot. And the robot, let's say that's okay, he created the robot. I think that's clear. I made that clear. And the robot is here. In order for the robot to really learn, like, sure, the robot has artificial intelligence. That's true. That's real. So the robot is going to know certain things, and it will respond to your command about certain things. Like Alexa, like you ask Alexa, you say, Alexa, tell me what time it is. Alexa's going to know what time it is. She's been programmed to know what time it is at all times. She's been programmed to know what Central Time is. She's been programmed to know what Eastern Time is, what Pacific Time is. She has been programmed to know certain things because she is a robot and a human created her. All right? But it's just like with a man. So the woman created him. So if this robot, using as an example, only knows the things that you have programmed it to know, then it's not going to know other things unless you introduce it to them after you created it. So say, for instance, if the robot doesn't know what love is, you have to introduce the concept of love to the robot. You see what I'm saying? Just like with this is a great analogy too, like with the movie Terminator, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, Terminator, I love that movie. It's a really good example because at the end, I think it was the first or the second movie. I think it was the second movie. Um, in that movie, at the end, he told him, he was like, I know. He told John Carter. He said, John Connor, that's his name, the character. He told him, he said, the robot did, the Terminator. The Terminator. He told him, he said, I know why you cry. It is something that I cannot do. So the robot has an understanding of what feelings are, or what affection is, or what crying is. The robot knew what that was because he had been around John Connor all day long, that whole day. Those couple weeks, however long it was. I don't really remember how long it was. I hadn't watched that movie in years. But the longer he was around him, the more of an understanding he had of affection. Or, sorry, that's my daughter in the background. Sorry, so sorry about that. The longer he was around John Connor, the more he gained a perspective or an understanding of what affection was, or what compassion was, what love was. He understood it. And quite possibly, if he had lived a little longer in the film, sorry, that's a spoiler, maybe he would have gained a full understanding of it. But he knew, he understood enough that it was something that was intimate. He understood that love was intimate. He understood that love was deep. He understood that crying was a form of love, or crying was a form of compassion for something, or having empathy for something, empathy. So the robot had a really good understanding of that. That's why he told him, he said, I understand why you cry. I cannot do it though, because he's a robot. So it's the same way with a man. If woman created him and she placed him out to this world, he's not going to know what that is or understand what it is until he is around love, which is a woman. So I get it now. I understand. So tell me if you all agree with me. I would love to know your idea. I would love to know your concept on this concept, or your perspective on this subject. It is a very fascinating subject, and I might do another video on it if you want me to. It is a very fascinating subject, and I think I have the right to speak on this subject because I am a doula. I'm a certified doula. I talk about birth all the time. I'm a rebirth coach as well, and I'm an author. I have my own course. Check it down below if you want to enroll. I feel like I know a lot about this subject, because I'm a woman myself. I've had a child myself. So, and I love very hard. So, I think I'm a great lover, so I feel like I have that ability, that natural ability to love very well, because I'm a woman and I'm proud to be a woman. So let me know what you think. This was a very great session. Bye. Bye. Thank you for tuning in, whoever tuned in. Bye.